here to talk about today is actually really specific to Upstatement's COVID response. So basically, we have all these skills in strategy and branding, design, content. We build apps and websites and help people create products. And when everything really started getting intense in March, we kind of got together and said, what can we do to help? And we felt like we were in a good position because of the skills that we can contribute, and because Boston is, primarily in Boston, which is kind of a mecca for public health and for technology. So we reached out to friends in the medical community and at MIT and in Silicon Valley to see what opportunities were out there. And we ended up contributing to 3 major projects. It all started as volunteer-led efforts, though things have kind of matured since then. So I'll get into a little bit more detail about each of these, but the kind of overview is that one was a product for doctors to help them make life-saving decisions on the front lines. Another was a contact tracing app, and I'll explain what contact tracing is in a few minutes. A digital contact tracing app, one of the first of its kind, and the very first one to be released in the App Store with MIT. And another product that we actually helped invent called Zero, which is kind of like Yelp for COVID safety. So I'll start with COVID protocols. This, we just ended up getting connected through some friends to this amazing doctor, Dr. C. Lee Cohen, who had played a really big role actually during the Ebola outbreak to help doctors find out what to do and how to treat kind of an emerging disease. Because most of the time, doctors have a lot of information about the thing that they're treating. So like they've seen broken bones before, or they've seen cancer, or they've seen the flu, but with COVID, nobody has seen it before. So there's no playbook, no protocols. We're kind of writing it as we go. And so Dr. Cohen ended up jumping into the fray first and built a giant Google Doc with collaborating actually with hundreds of other doctors to synthesize all the information that people were learning as doctors were treating the disease, and making that Google sheet available to doctors. And so it basically blew up. The New Yorker wrote about it, and hundreds of thousands of doctors were using it. And the Google sheet actually became unusable. So it was crashing, it was slow, people couldn't get to it via their hospital VPNs. And so that was when we hooked up and said, hey, let's help make this into something that anyone can access. And so time was really of the essence, and we immediately, this was probably, I think this effort started on like March 11th. And within 2 weeks, we had launched a brand new website that the doctors could access. And 2 weeks later, we had released an app for in the Google Play Store and on the Apple Store for doctors to be able to get it right on their phones. And the reason we made the website first was because it was just faster. It was the fastest way to get it out the door. With anything that you're releasing on the App Store, it's like it takes weeks sometimes to get it reviewed and to get it into people's hands. And we also weren't positive that an app was needed, but after interviewing doctors, we found out that they're kind of just like us, and they really like having an icon on their home screen that they can tap. And doctors were also running into some problems with like VPNs and firewalls, and weren't always able to access this. So the app made sure that they could do that. So this has been used by hundreds of thousands of doctors. They're pulling it up right in the hospital as they're treating patients, and looking up the best way to treat patients in a variety of different circumstances. So I'll share these slides afterwards, but you can read a little bit more about it. We published a case study on our website. Like I said, the New Yorker wrote about it, and there's a few other articles